Okay, so what I wanted to do is make a short version of the liver gallbladder flush video. There is a long one there. It's about 28 minutes, and I go over all the things I think you should know in relation to the liver gallbladder flush. Okay, this is going to be a short version for those of you who don't want to watch that or don't have the time to go over the nitty gritty. Okay, so the nitty gritty aspects of liver gallbladder flush is that you're either going to do a 5-day prep or a 3-day prep. You can do a 3-day prep if you're on a protocol with myself or one of my health coaches, and things are specifically designed for you. If you're not on a protocol by us, then a 5-day prep is going to be ideal. Okay, what involves with the prep? So the prep is basically where we prepare the liver and the gallbladder for the actual detox process. So in the days leading up, we're going to make some food adjustments. So nothing really changes to our lifestyle or anything like that. We're going to make some food adjustments. So the big adjustments are going to be no protein and no fat. Ideally, if you really need some sort of protein, you can use low-fat protein. So chicken breast, turkey, bison, white fish, egg whites, those would all be options if you really needed some protein, but I wouldn't suggest you go overboard. Okay, you're going to primarily focus on carbs, fruit, and vegetables. So you're pretty much going to be a clean vegetarian. For those days, and that's what the changes we're going to make food wise. Okay, protein out of the equation ideally, fat out of the equation ideally, and I do have some meal plan options in there for you as to meal ideas that you could be eating during those days. Expect to be hungry. Totally normal, especially those of us who love protein and fat. We can feel very hungry often because we aren't being satiated by the protein and fat. Feel free to eat as much as you want. There is no restriction on how much you can eat, only what foods you're going to be eating. Okay. The other part of the prep is we need to consume some sort of malic acid in order to help our gallbladder, well, really help our liver and gallbladder soften the stones and get the bile moving. Okay, those are the two things that we want. We really want to get things moving as much as we can and soften the stones so that when we do the flush, it's smooth, easy, and everything is flowing through the system. In order to do that, we're going to either use apple cider vinegar or sour tart cherry juice. Other protocols, you might read about TUDCA, you might read about malic acid pills. In the protocol here, it does talk about apple juice. I would highly suggest to not go the apple juice route. I believe you got to drink like 32 ounces, which is a liter a day. It's a lot of apple juice. It's also a lot of sugar and completely unnecessary. So if you're going to go the apple cider vinegar route, 4 ounces a day, sour tart cherry juice, 8 ounces a day. You can split it up into multiple doses. You can have it all at once. Does not matter. So the prep is essentially no protein, no fat, apple cider vinegar, or sour tart cherry juice. That is what we need to do to prepare the body for the flush. Okay. When it comes to the flush itself, you want to basically do it on a Friday night or a Saturday night, depending on your schedule. It starts at 6 p.m. and ends at noon the next day. During that time period, you want to be at home. You do not want to leave your house, okay? Emergency bowel movements, don't trust a fart. You can be fine one moment and pooping your brains out the next. So, stay home, please relax, don't make plans. When it comes to the prep, if we're going to be flushing on a Friday night and you're doing a 5-day prep, pretty much you're prepping all week. If you're doing a 3-day prep, you're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, half day Friday, and then flushing Friday night. So when it comes into the day of the flush, okay, you'll see here it says morning 3, 4, 5. Really, it's the 4th morning or the 6th morning, technically speaking, in relation to like if you're doing a 3-day or 5-day prep. So essentially, we're flushing Friday night. We get to Friday morning. You're going to have your last dose of the apple cider vinegar, the sour tart cherry juice. You're going to have a light breakfast, vegetable juice, fresh pressed juice, fruit juice, some sort of fruit, just things that are very easy on your stomach to digest. Some people have oatmeal, totally fine, okay? Lunch, you want some, rice with vegetables, okay? Just something to satiate your stomach, something light, something easy. You definitely don't want to have any protein, nuts, any avocado, any butters, any oils. Like if you were doing any sort of lean protein in the days leading up to the flush, definitely want to be cutting it out on the Friday or the Saturday, whatever day that you're starting to do the actual flushing, okay? You're going to have breakfast, you're going to have lunch, you're going to stop eating at 1 p.m. After 1 p.m., you can drink as much water, drink as much tea as you want. Does not matter at all. You know, if you feel a little lightheaded, you can have a little bit of juice, or you can have some sort of something sweet, whether it's a candy or some fruit. But anything liquid would be best, or a dextrose tab, anything that dissolves would be best, because anything that you eat solid is going to come out of you the way it went in, okay? So after 1 p.m., water, juice, try not to have any food. All right, we get to the flush itself. We have a 6 p.m. drink, an 8 p.m. drink, a 10 p.m. drink, and then a 6 a.m. and an 8 a.m., okay? Friday night into Saturday morning, depending on your schedule, right? Could be during the week if you work weekends, does not matter. So the 6 p.m. drink and the 8 p.m. drink are the same. 1 tablespoon of food grade Epsom salts mixed in 6 ounces of water. Okay, if you have issues finding the things that say food grade Epsom salts, you're looking for magnesium sulfate USP. That is food grade Epsom salts, okay? You just want to make sure it's often in bath products. You just want to make sure it's not dyed, it's not scented. It will say it's not for human consumption or ingestible consumption. As long as it's magnesium sulfate USP, you're totally okay. So you're going to drink your 6 p.m. drink, your 8 p.m. drink. I will make a note that the Epsom salts does not mix well in cold water. It mixes much better in warm water. So you might want to make it 10 to 15 minutes before 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. just so it can dissolve nicely and then cool down to room temperature so you can drink it. They're quite bitter. Using lime or lemon can really help cut the taste, similar to a tequila shot, to make it go down a little bit easier. Okay. By the time you get to 8 p.m., you know, 7:30, 8:30, your gut should be gurgling a little bit. You should feel this urge to want to go to the bathroom. Okay. We get into our 10 p.m. drink. So the 10 p.m. drink is our money drink. That is the 6 ounces of grapefruit juice and 4 ounces of olive oil. If you're on any sort of statin or cholesterol medication, typically you're not allowed grapefruit, in which case you can use orange or lemon. Totally fine in the citrus category of things. So you want to do your 6 ounces of grapefruit, 4 ounces of olive oil, mix it up really, really well, and then get to bed. Okay, get to bed. Take lavender, magnesium, melatonin, CBD, whatever it is that you need to relax so that you can get a good night's sleep. Definitely do that. Do not be on your phone. Do not be trying to have a conversation. 10 p.m., drink a drink, go to bed. You're probably going to be getting up somewhere around 1 to 4 a.m. to go to the bathroom. Totally normal. If this is not your first rodeo and this is your second, third, fourth, fifth flush, you're probably going to make it all night, sleep like a baby, and then go to the bathroom in the morning. Okay, so we did our first 2 Epsom salt drinks to flush out the bowels. We did our magic grapefruit juice, olive oil mixture to flush out the liver and the gallbladder. We got all this gunk leaving the liver gallbladder. It's going through the intestines, and so we need to flush the rest of that out. And that's going to be the 6 a.m. or 6 to 6:30 and 8 to 8:30 Epsom salt drinks on the following morning. Okay, same exact procedure that we talked about before. You just want to flush the rest of the stuff out. As you get into 10, 11, 12, you can start with some fresh pressed juice, some fruit, a light breakfast, lunch, brunch kind of thing. You know, eggs and fruit can go a long way. Just don't have a honkin' steak. You know, be gentle on your body. You just went through a heavy detox. You know, think gentle, you know, think chicken noodle soup, think some rice, again, eggs, fruit, just things that are easy for your body to break down and digest because you just went through a pretty intensive protocol. Okay, so essentially that is the Cole Notes version on how to deliver gallbladder flush. Once you get to that midday mark and you have lunch and you go through the rest of your Saturday, by the time you go back into Sunday, you can resume your normal eating. If you're on something like the antifungal diet, you can go back to the antifungal where you're eating lots of protein and fat. So whatever one feels best for you, depending on your situation and what you're doing, okay? So again, this is the much shorter version and the Cole Notes version of liver gallbladder flush. We have our long form version of the liver gallbladder flush, which goes over everything in much more detail. But those are the Cole Notes. So thank you guys.